What's going on, good people? Martina Britt Yelverton here on this blessed and amazing Friday night, day 5 of the Guaranteed Goal celebration. I hope you guys are keeping dry and warm. It is a seriously cold and wet um, evening here in the city of Knightdale, North Carolina. Thank you guys for being on time. As you know, we try to get started promptly at 10 o'clock. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So good to see all of you popping on so very quickly. I greatly appreciate that. You guys just don't know. So I'm going to take an opportunity to welcome you guys in, of course, and to go ahead and get shared on 3 separate pages here. Let's get it over here to my graphic design page. We're going to select to share it there. And then I'm also going to get it shared over to my private elite group. Let's see if I can get it there. And then I will get it over to one more business page and we should be good to go. All right, that one is now posted in the group and I'm sharing to my last business page and we should be able to get started. So my hope is that you guys not only have eagerly awaited tonight to find out about this 5th step here as far as your belief is concerned. If you didn't know, I kind of let the cat out of the bag last night, but hopefully you guys were expecting that. So tonight's download, if you want to go ahead and grab it, actually has a slight error on it. But if you want to go ahead and go to bit.ly/DDGG for guaranteed goals, define belief, you can go ahead and grab it. But what I went ahead and put up here in the top one, just to leave it, and I'll go ahead and drop that into the comments so that you can grab the one. And of course, the person who finds the error, I'll have something special for you on tonight. So I'm just going to drop it in the comment. Yes, comma, it has a slight error on it. However, here is the download for tonight's topic of hashtag belief. There we go. So if you guys get an opportunity to download that one in specific, go right ahead. Not a big deal. It's a very small, slight error, and I can show you exactly where that error lies. If you'll notice here, this is the main one that everyone received on the very first night. Step 1 was define what you want, define what you want in great detail. So the slight error that you will find on tonight is located on this one. And like I say, whoever finds that and prompts that information directly in here inside of the live, I'll have a small special treat for you. But specifically tonight, let's jump directly over in here. We fluffed and puffed for about 3 minutes there, giving you guys an opportunity to load in. Again, thank you so much for being available on this evening, Friday evening, here inside of our new year. Happy New Year to each and every one of you who are faithful and diligent in catching this live. Happy and New Year to all of you. Happy New Year to all of you who are also catching the replay. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. My name is Martina Britt Yelverton, and I am excited to share this information with you on tonight to help you understand how to guarantee your goals for 2020. I'm just saying, guys, without a plan, you fail and you fail and you fail and you fail, right? So without a plan, you do plan to fail. And if you look back over your lineage of time that you've actually been trying to carry out, walk out, and get to the end of your journey to guarantee a goal or to set a goal and achieve that goal, you will find if you didn't plan out the steps along the way, the likelihood of you actually accomplishing that goal, it actually decreased. Most times when you set out to complete a task, and if you don't have a why attached to it, if you don't have a belief attached to it, if you don't have some form of accountability outside of yourself attached to that goal, believe it or not, it's just a to-do list. So if someone wants to be diligent and type that in, they can. A goal without a why is just a to-do list. A goal without a why is just a to-do list. I'll say that one more time. A goal without a why literally is just a to-do list. Excuse me. I got a little choked up there. So, and if you don't believe me, try it. Try it for yourself. Create yourself a goal list. Don't attach anything to it. And believe it or not, when you visually see it, you will look at that as simply a to-do list. Don't believe me? Try it. Okay. So what we're going to be discussing as we close out this week and as we close out the first 5 days of this is how to define, describe, develop, and duplicate your way to guarantee your goals for 2020. We're going to do it over the course of 20 days. Tonight is night 5, step 5, and we're going to talk about belief tonight and believing in what you have set forth. To give you a reason for why you should listen to what I'm saying and who I am, is this information. I am Martina Britt Yelverton, and I am a brand master. I am a cash flow queen and a youth lifestyle training founder. I'm a revenue strategist and an ambassador with the Chamber of Commerce here in Knightdale, North Carolina. I'm an online revenue tool educator, and I am a Google My Business specialist, okay? I'm a mother of 4, a mentor, a mentee, and a friend, and I am you. I am along this same journey with you, trying to figure out why in the past, a lot of the goals that I set, I was unable to accomplish. However, many of the goals that I did set forth, I was able to accomplish because of my type A personality and the fact that I actually love listing and I love writing and I love putting forth plans and details and structuring things so that I can get to the end of a journey. So that is what prompted me to understand why this resonated with me so well and why I want to give you this information. So I've asked the question all week for each of you to pay attention to your own personality to try to get you to where we are right now with believing something, okay? So I asked the question each and every night this week, how do you approach a problem? So if you approach a problem mentally and you think about a problem, honestly, there's no action in that. That's you mentally walking through what went wrong, what could have gone right, what you did, what you didn't do. You're thinking about it. However, verbally, you're starting to act on it because you're asking questions and you may be even asking people questions, but verbally, you're actually physically in your tone or in your words, walking through the process, figuring out, putting some pieces together, asking some questions, giving some answers to figure out what that problem was. But believe it or not, physically attacking that problem and putting an action to that problem, reacting physically, responding physically to the problem would be the very best approach. Why? Because it literally takes you through some courses, some steps, some form of a blueprint. Believe it or not, it actually takes you through a plan on how to get to the solution, right? So yes, if you said mentally, you were correct. But also if you said verbally, you were correct. But physically, you were even more accurate because when you approach a problem and you actually physically do something to change that problem, more than likely you have gone through a mental or a verbal situation or conversation or a checklist, so to speak, on how to get to the end result. And that is the better option of the three. Mentally, to think about a problem and do absolutely nothing with it, literally will leave you exactly where you are. However, when you physically attack it, fix it, now you found a solution. So I hope that makes sense for you and you understand why I kept asking the question all week, because as long as I'm asking the question verbally, I'm asking the question, there still isn't anything being done. You're hearing the question, so you're receiving it mentally. Yet again, there isn't anything being done. However, if you take that to the final step of physically reacting to it, now you're able to get the problem solved. We can't solve problems by using the same kind of thinking we use when we created them. The very specific word in there is when we created them. If you're not willing to have a mindset that can shift, then the same mind that you use to create the problem is going to be the same mind that you have when the problem never gets solved. So I hope that makes sense. People have been asking me in Messenger here and there, what exactly is guaranteed goals? Guaranteed goals is a start. I've had this particular book since August of 2018, working very closely with Mr. Julian Gordon, going through some of his other coursework. This allowed myself and Stephanie J. Sanders to do some amazing things in the year of 2018 and 2019. And it was because we were following plans. We sat down and hashed out so many different plans for the different directions for things we were trying to do. And because we planned them and created a blueprint, we held each other accountable, we were able to finish those. So my entire goal is to teach you to think your solutions into existence. It's not going to be an overnight process. It doesn't mean that exactly what you want will happen. It doesn't mean exactly what you don't want won't happen. What it means is you can guarantee any goal if you start with your thinking. So first, understand that as long as you can look up, you can get up. I explained this in a little bit greater detail on yesterday. If you want to go back on yesterday's live and grab it, you absolutely can. But let's move forward in understanding how the believe mechanism works with regards to defining this week. So I asked you to decide exactly what it is that you wanted. I asked you to go through some great details and understand that what you want is within you, and everything that you have ever needed to accomplish something, you were born with it. And this is how you define what good gracious, I got tongue tied. Define and decide what it is that you want. I started you with the question to ask, what do you want, right? I asked you to describe it in great details. I asked you to go through imageries and to see and hear what it is, the conversation you actually have with yourself as you're writing those things down. And I asked you to also pay attention to the feelings. So on the first day, we discussed just simply writing down what you wanted under about 4 or 5 categories, whether it was personally, professionally, passionately, and even as a parent, what it was that you wanted. Then I asked you, what did you see when you wrote it down? Then we actually dug a little deeper. What did you hear and what did you say? Meaning, what was the conversation that was going on while you were actively writing that list down? And then finally, yesterday, I asked you to basically do what it is that you do. When you see yourself writing down something, dealing with personally how you feel about something, what is it that you see yourself doing in the process of getting what it is that you want? We are attacking this from so many different angles because we really need to narrow down what it is we want. You may have written down several things, and then once you actually heard the conversation that you were having about those things, it may have prompted you to actually say, no, I actually don't want that. I want this. And that is the detailed specifics that we're trying to get you to dig down to. So finally, I'm asking you today, what do you believe? Meaning, if you wrote down that you wanted $100,000 under the professionally category, do you believe that you are able to receive $100,000? Do you believe that? Because if you had a feeling of fear, if you actually had trouble seeing yourself holding that amount of money, then are you sure that you believe that you could receive it? That is my question. So that is why we're tackling now your belief. Belief is final because on Monday, we're going to be describing out in greater detail what we have defined. And we're going to start with what we see. Again, what we want, what we see, what we hear and say, and what we do. But we're going to describe it now. So my hope is that you'll want to join me over inside of a conversation that you can have here on Facebook in the comments, but more specifically inside of the Zoom meeting. So literally you can see others' comments, you can see your comments, we can kind of walk through what this means and the best way to get your belief up. The final answer in all of this and guaranteeing your goals really is, what do you believe? because you can make a full list of everything that you want, that you see, the conversation that you hear and say, and even what you do, and not believe it. And I promise you, you will be at the end of this guaranteed goals journey with a stack of papers and no goal accomplished. These are the cornerstone steps that you must go through to literally guarantee a full blown goal. Because if that goal that you're hearing and seeing and wanting doesn't move you, doesn't cause you to shake in your boots just a little bit, that goal isn't big enough. Okay. So please stay connected with me. Here are all the social media platforms. I have now adjusted it to where I am on Instagram, and my daughter is doing an amazing job getting those posts up. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. My son is now in charge of the youth lifestyle training page, and you will see information coming from that particular aspect over the course of this month. Connect with me, follow me on YouTube, follow me on Facebook. I'll get that typo updated. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on LinkedIn and Twitter, because these social media platforms may be your preferred one, whereas I'm generally on YouTube and Facebook, as you can tell. If you have more specific questions, you can definitely reach out to me. I take appointments at getbooked.martinabrityelverton.com. 15 and 30-minute free appointments are available. Just have a look at your schedule, go to this link and have a look at my schedule, and then you are available to book a time and we can have a conversation. Again, my name is Martina Britt Yelverton. I hope this has been of value to you. This small 20 minutes of time is allowing you to literally pay attention to the goals and the dreams that you want. And again, you do not have to have a full, blown out, complete piece of paper. You could have simple 1 or 2 words. I'm just one who likes to write it all out. So while I say have written out a free mind, unprogrammed, and open to new things, you could seriously say deprogramming. Personally, that's what you want. You could say $100,000 here under professionally. You could say a husband here. You could say healthy kids here under paternally. You could actually have typed in 1 or 2 words here, and that is your first step. Because by the time we move into the additional days, when we move into the additional days, you're going to go a bit deeper and a bit deeper and a bit deeper, and it's going to all make even more sense to you. And again, the reason that you want to do that is so that you really can narrow down what it is that you want. Okay? So I hope you have enjoyed your time on this evening. I hope I have been able to be clear and make things pretty easy to follow, easy to understand. These sheets that you're available to print out will help you along this journey. Believe is the mistake, I think. So you've been looking at the sheet, Monique. Absolutely. You are very much correct. Let me see if I can pull that back up for you. Yes, right here, each sheet changes each night, and define what you want. Define what you want here. That is the era. And I'm going to pull it up so I can show you guys specifically what she's talking about, and definitely get with you afterwards, Monique, so I can get that information over to you. But yes, here is the sheet. The PDF that you would have pulled out right here, it should say define what you believe, because we are on the final night here of believe and belief. This word should have said believe. So if you downloaded that worksheet, that is the era, and I'll get something special over to you. Monique, thank you so much for being diligent. Thank you for following the directions and popping what you believe is your mistake in there. I greatly appreciate you being coachable, teachable, and trainable. So thank you guys for your time on tonight. I look forward to talking to you on Monday night, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we will begin to discuss what we are going to describe and how we're going to guarantee our goals in 2020 through the process of describing in greater depth what it is that we want. I'll talk to you guys soon. God bless you. Enjoy your amazing weekend. I look forward to seeing you on next week.